Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. My name is Melissa Sanchez, and I work in the Financial Aid Office at Folsom Lake College. This is an overview of the items we will go over in today's presentation. Please do not be overwhelmed by this. I can assure you that we will cover the definitions of the terms and how they are applied in financial aid. Throughout the presentation, there will be hyperlinks embedded in the slides. I recommend that you take a look at these links, and there you will find the most up-to-date information on financial aid at FLC. To begin, I'll go ahead and explain the cost of attendance. The cost of attendance is the average amount a full-time student is anticipated to spend while attending college. Students may not foresee all of the expenses involved in attending college. An exact cost depends on factors such as housing status and residency. For example, your cost of attendance will be different if you live with your parents versus off campus. The reasoning behind this is because when you live with your parents, it is expected that they will contribute to your room and board, versus living off campus without parents, you're covering all the costs on your own. This is why it is important to have the correct housing and residency status on your applications, so one can have the correct costs, which will help determine your unmet financial need when you complete the free application for federal student aid or California DREAM Act application. So now that we know how much college may cost, the next step is applying for financial aid. To apply for financial aid, you have to file a FAFSA or California DREAM Act. The application window opens October 1st, and it is highly encouraged that you submit your application before the priority deadline, March 2nd, to maximize your awards. To file a FAFSA application, you need to be a citizen or eligible non-citizen. And to file a California DREAM Act, you need to be an undocumented AB 540 or AB 2000 California resident. You may file either application, but never both. If you ever have trouble, you can contact our office and we can offer one-on-one assistance for filling out your financial aid application. You can book an appointment online. Later in this presentation, I will show you how to book an appointment via our website. Once our college has your FAFSA or California DREAM Act, we can determine what types of financial aid you are eligible for. We offer Promise programs, which include the Los Rios Promise program. This is a tuition-free program for first-time new college students. You are eligible to receive 2 years free college tuition at Folsom Lake College. We also have a federal and state grants, such as Pell Grant based on tuition income eligibility, and the California College Promise Grant, which is also a tuition fee waiver. We also have work study positions available if you are eligible. This will give you a great opportunity to work at FLC and gain work experience. Furthermore, we offer federal loans if you need additional assistance. If you wish to take out a loan, you are not required to accept the full amount. We recommend you only accept what you need. There are two types of loans offered, subsidized and unsubsidized. Subsidized loans do not accrue interest while you're in school. It will only start accruing interest 6 months after you graduate, drop below halftime, or withdraw, and that's when you begin repayment. An unsubsidized loan, on the other hand, will begin accruing interest once it has been disbursed. If you do need additional support to cover expenses, we encourage you to take a look at our scholarship opportunities. A scholarship is free money given to you to help pay for your education and related expenses. They come from a variety of sources, such as your college or outside organizations. Scholarships all have different requirements and look at different aspects, such as field of interest or major, ethnic background, merit, unmet need, etc. The best example I like to give regarding scholarships is if I'm applying for a $500 scholarship and it takes me about 1 hour to complete, and I win the scholarship, I made $500 in the 1 hour that it took me to fill out the application. We highly encourage you to check out these opportunities. If you are not familiar with this page, this is your eServices student homepage. Take note that this page will have any tasks that you are required to complete or messages you may need to see. You can see here on the direct message tile at the top right corner if you have been sent any messages from our office. Under the task tile, you will see any financial aid requirements you have. If you do not complete these requirements, then your financial aid may not be dispersed, so it is important to complete them. At this time, we will be going through some financial aid policies. I want to begin with the Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP for short. You want to make sure that you maintain this progress in order to keep receiving financial aid. In order to maintain SAP, you must have a 2.0 cumulative GPA and pass at least 66.67% of your attempted classes. With course applicability, you want to make sure you are enrolling in classes that are covered under your degree certificate or program. If you are taking classes outside of this, they will be ineligible for financial aid. If you have any questions as to whether or not the class that you are taking or looking into taking is eligible for financial aid, you can make an appointment with the counseling department to explore your options for your major, certificate, or transfer program. The exception to course applicability does not apply to the Promise programs. The tuition fee waivers are good for all courses, even those not required for your program of study or major. Our withdrawal policy states, if you are a student who receives federal financial aid and you withdraw or stop attending all of your classes in a semester, then the financial aid office must calculate the amount of aid you earned to determine if you were overpaid or underpaid based on the amount of time you were enrolled and attending classes. This process does not apply to you if you drop all of your classes before the first day of class, drop some but not all of your classes, drop or withdraw from all classes after the 60% point of the term. For further information on these topics and policies, please refer to our website or contact our office for further questions. At Folsom Lake College, we offer special circumstance appeals and dependency override appeals as well. We have these available because we understand that situations arise and things change, so we want to make sure that your financial aid application is correctly reflecting your current situation if it has changed. An appeal for special circumstances is warranted if you have any of the following situations, such as a loss of employment, excessive uncovered medical or dental expenses, one-time distribution from 401, or other significant financial changes from the base year to the current year. We understand that finances change due to these situations, and the FAFSA and the California DREAM Act use financial information from 2 years ago, so we want to make sure that we get the correct information. If you are unable to obtain parental information, you may file a dependency override appeal to explain why you do not have contact or association with your parent or parents. If this appeal is approved, you will gain independent status and we will only look at your student information. If you do wish to fill out an appeal, you must contact our office and make an appointment to determine if you are eligible to file an appeal. Folsom Lake College Financial Aid wants to help you. We offer virtual financial aid front counter assistance and virtual appointments available with financial aid staff for assistance with filling out FAFSA and California DREAM Act applications, answering program-specific questions like Pell Grant, Cal Grant, etc., answering questions regarding your financial aid file, and special circumstances and dependency overrides. Taking a look at our main page for financial aid, we have a quick question chat online with financial aid staff. If you click on that, you'll be taken to a Zoom room where we will have staff ready to answer any questions during normal business hours. You can be put in a breakout room for more privacy if you have a specific question regarding your financial aid file. This teal button is where you can make an online financial aid appointment. When you click on this, you can select the reason for your appointment. Then it'll take you to an available appointment slots. You can also reach us by email at financialaid@flc.losrios.edu, by phone at 916-608-6646, or check us out on Facebook at FLC Financial Aid. We highly encourage you to utilize these resources. Thank you so much for coming along on this presentation. As always, go Falcons!